Hi everyone. So today I'm going to show you a video on how to make this really cool little art project for your home called a family celebrations calendar. Now this is a calendar that you can use year-round as a way to keep track of family members' birth dates or anniversaries, or really any special day that you want to remember. So, and what's so great about this project is you can personalize it and make it special. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It can be as complicated or as simple as you'd like it to be. And it also makes a great gift. If this is a way to give yourself a head start on those Christmas gifts if you are a do-it-yourselfer and feel the need. But I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of us at the library. We're always happy to help. These are the supplies that I'm going to need to create my family celebrations calendar. And what you do not see here, I'm also going to be using a drill press as well as a pair of needle nose pliers for assembling the finished product. But to start, I've got this piece of wood, and it's a nice little framed wood. I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and you could really use any piece of wood that you wanted to, but I like the looks of this one, and it was already finished nicely for me, and so I decided that that's going to work well for my project. And it was relatively inexpensive, so I went ahead and got it. I have these little wooden hearts as well as wooden circles. The hearts are for any anniversary dates you put on the calendar, and the circles are for birth dates. So I bought more birth date ones because obviously tend to have more birthdays than you have anniversaries. I also have some what are called jump rings. Those are going to connect the different pieces. And I also have some what are called cup hooks. Now these are ones that I already had sitting in my garage, and they're gold. I don't want gold on my calendar, so I'm actually going to spray paint them with that paint and primer there. It's a gray color because I want to go with the rustic gray farmhouse look. And I also have a Sharpie marker there that I think I'm going to use in order to personalize each of the hearts and circles. But these are the basic supplies I need to get started. So I decided that the best way to spray paint my little cup hooks here is actually stick them in a piece of cardboard with the screw part down, because I don't need the screw part painted. You're not going to see that. It'll be inside the wood. And I have 13 of them because I only need 12, one for each month of the year. But I decided I'm going to have an extra one just in case I bend one or break one when I'm installing it. So yeah, we're going to set them up this way on a piece of cardboard so I can spray on all sides and see how they turn out. So here are my cup hooks all ready to go. I spray painted them nice galvanized gray, and so we can move on to the next step. Alright everybody, so before I get ready to assemble my family celebration calendar, I need to prep my wood pieces. And first of all, I figured out how many birthdays I'm going to have on there and how many anniversaries. And then, so for each birthday, I'm going to have a circle. And for each anniversary is a heart. And I decided that I like the whitewash look that my main board has. And so I'm here in the Spark at the library, and I'm going to whitewash all of my wooden pieces before I use the drill press here to put the holes in. So, and whitewashing is really easy. It's basically a watered down paint. So what I did is I put about 1/3 of a white acrylic paint in my little cup here, and then I added a bunch of water. So it's really runny. It's like painting with milk. So I'm going to give all of my pieces a nice little whitewash and just brush it on there so that it's barely going to color the wood. Really not going to be very white, but I want it to have a nice, you know, like it is, a wash to it. So I'm going to do that to all of my pieces and then let them dry overnight, and then I can drill the holes in it tomorrow. Alright everybody, so my discs and hearts have been whitewashed and dried, and so now I'm back in the spark. It's a very sunny morning, as you can see. The sun's in my eyes a little bit. But I'm going to use the drill press right over here to put the holes that I need into my pieces. The size of the drill bit that I'm using is a 5/64 bit, and of course depending on the piece of wood you use and the size of the jump ring you want, that might vary to what size holes you want in your pieces. You can also purchase pre-drilled wooden discs and hearts on Amazon, or probably other wood places, but Amazon most likely or most cost effective. That way you don't have to do any drilling. So obviously you could use a hand drill, but might be a little bit more difficult to get accurate spacing and placement of the holes. So I'm going to use the drill press because it's easier and holds it in place for me. Okay, so all of my pieces have their holes drilled into them, and of course I have more than this, but I just wanted to show you a couple of them. And this one has 2 holes because I have a month where there's 2 anniversaries in one, so I'm going to hang one heart from the other heart. Otherwise I only put 1 hole in each heart because I typically only have 1 anniversary per month, and so I'm going to hang that at the bottom of the calendar. But every birthday has 2 holes, so that I can always add to it. So the next step of my family celebration calendar is to personalize each one of these shapes with the birth dates. And I've decided I'm going to put the first name of everyone on it, and then right underneath the first name I'm going to put the day of the month. So if we were going to use my birthday as an example, I'd have my name Angie, and then I would put 21 underneath that. And then on the reverse side, I'm going to put the year. So that if I ever need to know, like, well, how old is my brother? Then I can just flip it over and see the year of his birth date, and then I'll know exactly how old I want to be, or he is. And I've also decided that before I put it in permanent ink, I'm going to lightly write each one down with a mechanical pencil. That way I can make sure the name fits and I don't make any mistakes. I can double check my dates before I do anything more permanent. So that's the next step, is to label each one of these. So here are all my pieces labeled with the Sharpie marker, and I've got them laid out by month so they're ready to go. So the next step is to assemble I get my main board ready, my top piece. And I've laid out the little cup hooks, and I've spaced them out pretty evenly just to give myself an idea of where I want them to go. I'm going to mark each of the locations and then attach them to the board. After I've attached all of the cup hooks at the bottom of the board, I used a pencil to draw out my little design here, and I decided I just want to do the word family in a little bit of a cursive script, and then I did the abbreviations of every month above each hook for the calendar part. And I'm going to paint a couple of little hearts on there too. So my next step is to do the painting and touches on that. So that's looking pretty good. I gotta let the paint pen dry, but I've got everything labeled. Nothing fancy. Of course, you can be as fancy as you want to be. I want a more rustic look to mine, but I've seen some people put the word birthday. You can monogram it, so maybe you have like your family's last name and everybody underneath it. But yeah, just personalize it, make it something special. And so then we got to move on to the next step, which is linking all of those pieces together. So probably the trickiest thing to do in assembling this birthday calendar is getting this jump ring into the wooden pieces. And to do that, I'm going to use 2 pairs of pliers. Now, ideally, you want 2 needle nose pliers, or even better if you are, maybe you're a jeweler and you like to do beadwork, you have the special pliers that are specifically made for this. I don't have that kind of stuff, but I'm going to just use a regular pliers here and then my needle nose. And it's going to be difficult for me to show you, but there's a little split at the top of the jump ring, and I'm going to stick a pair of pliers on each end, on each side of that split, and I'm just going to slowly pull towards me. But as I pull towards me, I'm going to kind of bend in a little, not out, because I don't want to stretch the ring out. I don't want it to be misshapen, but I want to open it just enough so that the wooden piece fits through. So I already did this top one, and because I have 4 different birthdays in January, I need to link in the bottom too, so that I have, and then I'm going to take the next one, and it's like making a chain, but I want to make sure, this is another tricky part, make sure it's going in the right direction, because I want all the names to face out. So, got the 2 linked, names going the right way. Then I need to put my pliers back on to each side here, and as I close it slowly, I want to bring it together. And it takes a little bit of time, and you want to remember, you're pulling in instead of out, because that forces the pieces together rather than stretching your ring out so that it's no longer circular. There. And then see, I got the ends lined back up. Now don't pinch too hard or you will create some grooves in your jump ring. But that's how we're going to attach all the little pieces together. It's going to take some time, depends on how many birthdays you got. But I'm going to make my chain and get them all assembled. Alright, so after I've gotten all my chains made, one for each month, all I do is hook them on the bottom of the board. And you've got a family celebrations calendar. Now you can see some months have more than others. And then June, nothing going on in June with my family. But that's okay. And the great thing about it is I can easily expand it. So if, you know, the nieces and nephews and grandkids get married or someone has another baby, we just add to the calendar and make a new piece and stick it on. And it's totally customizable. You can make it any way you want. You can even make it colorful, and maybe you want all the boy birthdays to be blue and all the girl birthdays to be pink. It's totally up to you, but it's really a fun project. It will make a fantastic gift, especially to a grandparent or somebody who has a lot of family members or is sentimental like that. But the only thing left to do is find a place to hang it in the house and enjoy it. Really exciting. It was fun to make. I hope you all have a chance to try it yourselves. If you're not super adventurous, or maybe you're just a little intimidated by it, there are pre-made kits you can buy online. So all the pieces are ready for you. You just have to personalize it, maybe do a little painting or a little just using a Sharpie marker like I did. Add the birth dates on, but the holes are drilled for you. The parts are all there. You don't have to do any measuring or figuring out. You just assemble it. There's tons of ideas on Pinterest, of course. And there are other ways to do it. You don't have to use jump rings and hooks. I've seen people use ribbon, and you just tie, a wooden bead on to the board. All kinds of ideas. So don't be afraid to get creative. Try something new. And I hope you all are happy and safe, and someday we'll be able to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and things like that, maybe in a more normal way than it has been lately. But I hope you are well, and we'll see you next time.